St. John. I'm a program coordinator with our injury prevention team through the Center for Community Health, led by Cook Children's. So we have multiple program areas, but today I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about our poison prevention program. So when we're talking about poison prevention, we really focus on accidental poisonings, but as I go through, you'll kind of hear how some of this stuff can tie over to intentional ingestion, or these are what we focus on again is like that unintentional side, but a lot of the suggestions we have, just like for our gun safety program, can flow into how to prevent intentional as well. So within the United States as a whole, we typically see around 47,000 accidental poisonings, and at Cook Children's we see over 700 a year, and so both of those are in a year. I think last year was closer to 900, and so we see quite a bit of accidental poisonings, and the majority of those are access to medications. So the children gained access to medications. So the age group that we really kind of focus on, or the two age groups we focus on, is first our young children, our 1 to 4-year-olds. Those are your explorers, they're your crawlers, and then they're also what we call a pre-reader. So they're not able to kind of read the labels or definitely understand those labels. So if I've got an example of these two things, now as adults, you probably could guess which one that I could drink and which one I shouldn't. But for a child, if they see these two, they look very similar. And so the likelihood that if they came across this, they're like, oh, that's that green drink mom gave me, and they drink it, that's how those accidental poisonings, accidental ingestion happens. Same when we've got fun stuff like this. This is a laundry smell good thing. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it goes in your laundry. What it looks like to me is either Pop Rocks, that kind of pop in your mouth, that candy, or even the Nerds candy. So this looks like candy. So kids, they open it up because mom wants it in a cute container, and then they just ingested something that is definitely not a candy. So those are for those, again, those pre-readers, those crawlers. When they're crawling around on the floor, they run across a pill that maybe was accidentally dropped. They don't know it's a pill. It looks just like a piece of candy. So what do? They stick it in their mouth. They're exploring, they're learning, things like that. So that's where those, that's why that's one of our highest risk age groups, that 1 to 4. Our older age group, your 15 to 19-year-olds, those are kind of our next at risk. And most of the time when we're talking about that accidental ingestion, it's because now they've got some autonomy, right? They are learning how to take medication on their own. So they go to mom and say, hey, I've got a headache. She says, great, go take some Tylenol. An hour later, they say, hey, I still have a headache. And she says, well, did you take medication? I don't know. They got lost in video games, right? They got lost doing something else, playing on their phone. They don't remember they took the medication, or they don't know how long ago they did. So what do? They go back and take it again. And so now we've dosed multiple times in a short amount of time. So that's where, again, when we're focusing on the accidental side, that's what we see with those older kiddos. So what we talk to parents about are kind of the three steps. So safe dosage, safe storage, and safe disposal. So those are the 3 points when I'm having conversations with those caregivers, is those are 3 things we focus on with poison prevention. So safe dosage, kind of that first one, this is ensuring that we are reading labels, so we're dosing correctly. Also that we're using the correct measuring tools. So that picture on the top right is some samples of measuring tools. I can guarantee that the majority of us in here were given medication with a spoon, right? Maybe you still are taking medication with a spoon, where you pour it in the spoon and then you take it. All teaspoons or all our regular kitchen spoons are not the same size. So some people think it's a teaspoon. Doesn't mean it's always a teaspoon. They come in different sizes, so that's not an exact dose. It's not a correct dose. So it needs to be given, medications need to be given with the measuring tool they came with. Some medications don't come with measuring tools. So there's one that my kiddo takes, and I don't remember exactly what one, but it doesn't come with a syringe, it doesn't come with a cup, it doesn't come with anything. So what you can do is you can go to a pharmacy and let them know, say, hey, I've got this medication, it says to give my kiddo this much, can I get a syringe, or can I get a measuring tool for this medication? They're free, the pharmacy will give them to you to go with that medication. We want to use those versus, again, those tablespoons or just kind of guessing. Also, asking the question. So if we're not sure what the dose should be, asking the physician, the child's physician, asking a pharmacist those correct questions. And then one other is the Poison Help Center. A lot of people think the Poison Help Center is only for emergencies, but that's not the case. They are there to help also prevent an emergency. And so we really encourage parents to know that phone number. kiddo was an infant. He had a fever, and we were doing that Tylenol and Advil or whatever it was. We were kind of trading back and forth every couple hours. It was the middle of the night, and I could not remember what it was supposed to be, so I called the Boys and Health Center. They're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and there's someone there that can answer those questions. So we really encourage parents to call if they have that question. So any time of day, that's what they're there for. It's completely anonymous. We want to make sure parents recognize that and understand that it's entirely anonymous. If they feel like there may be an emergency, they will direct you to either call 911 or get to the ER, whatever the case is. But that's what they're there for, is to help, not to cause any problems. So that was safe dosage, but we also want to look at safe storage. So storing those medications up and away and out of reach of children. So there in the top right, that is a small medication lockbox, but they are combination lock boxes that you can put your medications in, and it's kind of a double combination. So they have to put in the same code on either side of that to access those medications. But putting those up and out of reach, those lock boxes will be accessible to you guys. We'll provide those as well. When we encourage parents to kind of put those medications away, especially if you go in a home and maybe they have a chronically ill family member, so they often have all their medications out, like on the kitchen counter or in the bathroom, because they're constantly accessing them. But if they've got a small child in the home, it's important to lock those up so those kiddos don't have access to it. Because if they see older sibling who's constantly taking this medication, they may mimic that behavior and try to take that medication as well. So those lock boxes we will be able to provide to you guys, and just like with the gun safes, we'll have a liability form the parent needs to sign, just saying that they understand the importance of using the lock box, it's the correct way to use the lock box, and that there's not any liability if they choose to use it differently. The other way that things can be locked up that we encourage families is different like cabinet locks. So there's like a little flexible strap, there's a little sliding lock, but these are great for families in locations that can't have a permanent fixture. Just like the lock boxes as well. So they're living in a motel or they're living in a family member's home and they don't want to attach a childproof lock to the cabinet, then they can use these because they can be removed easily and there's no damage done to wherever they're living or their living space. But having those locked up, out of reach, I tie that back to intentional ingestion as well. We work closely with our psych clinic at the hospital, and that's one thing we provide for them, because if we lock those medications up out of reach and no one knows the code but the parent, then kids that may want to do any self-harm are going to have a delay in having access to that medication. It's going to slow them down from getting access to that, which may be just enough time to stop them. And then last part of that was safe disposal. And so there's several ways that we encourage parents to dispose of their medications. So if they're expired, if you're no longer using them, get them out of the house. Having less access, not having them there, is going to, again, slow kids down from getting them, from finding them, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Having them out of the home if we're not using them is important. So some of the ways we can do it is there are medication drop boxes kind of all over our area. And our website, meddropbox.org, lists some of our local Dropbox sites. So families can go on that meddropbox.org. They can kind of scroll down and find a location that's closest to them. And then that's where they take those medications, no questions asked, and can be dropped in those drop boxes. Some of our more rural communities that don't have access to get in to find a drop box, we also encourage them to put those medications in something that is not intriguing. So like the used coffee grounds, like in that first picture on the left. Putting those medications in used coffee grounds is going to stop other people from getting access to them, and then also stop animals from getting to them as well. So mixing them with those coffee grounds and then throwing them away. If someone comes across it, they're less likely to be digging through it. We also, if you've got a cat at home, when you clean the litter box, dump those medications in with that cat litter as well. It's going to stop others from getting in there and messing with it. And then another way is the DEA puts on Take Back Days twice a year. It's a national event. Many of you probably heard about it. But they do it once in April and once in October. And we kind of have locations all over that it's just a drive-up event. You drive up, you take your bag of medications, they take it from you in the car, and then they dispose of it. So it gets it out of your house. So I usually try to do those, like clean out all my medications every couple months and drop them at those DEA Take Back Days. To find a location near you on those 2 months, that April and October time, it's DEATakebackday.gov, I believe is the correct email or website for that one. You can also just Google DEA Take Back Day and it'll take you right there. There are also things out on the market as well, like this Dispose RX, and it looks like a little drink packet, but what it is you have your little pill bottle, you put just a little bit of water in it, about a third of the bottle you fill with water, and then you mix this kind of powder, shake it up, and it deactivates that medication. So these are available. They're a little harder for families to find, but they are an option that a lot of people don't know about as well, just to get rid of those medications. Okay, so that is kind of our 3 steps that we like you to remember when we're educating families: safe dosage, safe storage, and then safe disposal. We, just like gun safety, we also do a lot of train the trainers, and so we'll have partners come out, we'll do a full presentation with them, show them how we use that presentation, and then they can go out to the community and offer those same classes to either parents, caregivers, or other kiddos. So, do you guys have any questions?
Other than calling the help, calling 911, what other thing can parents do if they find their child is poisoned?
So,
in the meantime.
In the meantime, other than calling 911,
as well as I would
call the Poison Help Center. If it's not an immediate emergency and they've ingested something, but they're still breathing, they're still alert, I would start with that Poison Help Center first and then see where their directives. Of course, if it's an immediate danger, we're going to be calling 911 and getting directions on what to do from there. But that would be my first step. If the child ingested something, they're alert, they seem to be fine, breathing fine, then I would start with the Poison Help Center or even their physician's office, pharmacy, they can even call there as well. The Poison Help Center is just a little bit quicker sometimes. You don't have to go through all of the questions.
Okay.
I think what you don't want people to do is start to induce vomiting. Just,
that's what I was getting at.
Don't induce vomiting. Don't give them, until you know for sure that that's going to be okay with that medication ingestion. Or if it's a liquid, then if you do that, their risk for aspiration goes up.
Right.
So you want to wait for the appropriate advice before you do that. So 911, poison control, and don't do anything with the child unless it's not.
For our purposes, do you typically want our guys or us to encourage MedStar to, if it's that green bottle, take it with you?
Yes.
That way you know. I mean, is there anything else besides that?
Bring the medication and then history, time of ingestion, and if there's one medication that was ingested, are there any other medications that could have been ingested as well that are
Right.
always important for us, especially if you don't have a parent or it's not a parent's say a babysitter or something else. Just knowing that kind of information could be important. But time of ingestion, other medications they could have gone into are really important for us.
Here's some resource we have that I got to use a couple weeks ago. Poison Control has a mobile preliminary app on their website. You can search by with the camera on your phone via the UPC code. That was pretty helpful when my 2-year-old put sunscreen in her eyes. So something we have on the truck that we can use. Everybody's got the phone.